Good morning. It's Monday. It's Monday again. A grey Monday here. I'm sure it's rainy and Drake. I think that's the way you pronounce the Scottish one that Maya was just put up there. We're in double January, so plenty to be excited about. Thanks for some of the hands being sent in, and they're going to be very handy for these particular seminars, because having example hands makes all the difference, because it is not easy, but it's well enough me talking about hands and showing you how defences work, but it is lovely to have had a couple of hands sent in, particularly from some redoublers as well, which we've been doing on Friday, but people who tried the redouble and it worked, and they took a 500 and an 800 two hands, so that's lovely. And that's what we're trying to do in double January. There was one sent in to me, interestingly, where he had made a penalty double. His partner had taken him out of it. Now, as it happens, it worked that his partner took him out of it, but I did explain in my response to that email that actually your partner did the wrong thing, because you've got to trust each other, and if one of you makes the decision to make a penalty double, the partner has to back it up. On this occasion, the person who sent the email in was not necessarily right. I don't think he should have made a penalty double, but it's important to trust each other, and then if it goes wrong, just work out why and then move on from there. Okay, what else is happening? Well, I think I finally got round to giving my Christmas prizes out. There's 5 ladies who won them from our Wheel Bridge party. I've also got one for Tim. I'm not sure if Tim's online. He was online on Friday, and he came out with the joke of the year, which I think was pretty good. So I think he deserves a prize for that. Some of you would have been able to use it last year because your 2-no trump opening is 20 to 21. But Tim decided that the year was 2-no trumps, which of course is 2022. I thought that was pretty good and deserved a prize. So if Tim's online now, give us a shout. If not, I'll have to remember your surname, or I'll ask you for it next week. So 20 to 22, your 2-no trump opener is of course the year. So I think that was quite a good one. What else? We had great fun on Wednesday. Those of you who haven't seen the Wednesday teams, great fun. Do recommend that. Lot of interesting hands. Some good ones, some bad ones. I got a lot of them horribly wrong, and I got a lot of them horribly right, I suppose you could say. So lots of things going on, and have a little look at that. We are talking double contracts, defending against them, and not easy. Not easy. But of course, what I want you to do is double more, but also get better at defending them, because if we double them and defend them well, then we get a huge scores, and they really are well worthwhile. It's been a long time since we've done a Monday, and we've had the whole festive season in the middle, so Happy New Year to everybody, or as we're saying, Happy 2-no trumps. We had some fantastic events that went ahead. Really pleased with that. And what was wonderful is, I know some of you have been worried about them, and we've had various things in the office coming through. But what I will say is those people who came had a great time, and they were really, really happy that we were running them. And I was so pleased that that was the case. We've got another event coming up this week. That's the Reboot Your Defence. And it was, before the Christmas period, I'd almost forgotten, and we were in the entertainment industry. And then throughout the Christmas period, and particularly New Year when I was there, there's no doubt that people were entertained, and that it was exciting. So thanks everybody who was part of that and being part of it. Those of you who had some problems, etc., we are dealing with all of those. We are getting on top of things in the office, shall we say. We've had a change. We've had to say goodbye to Jessica. So those of you who know Jessica, she's left us now, and we are looking to boost our team. So we are, it's double annuary for us. It is expander. No, I can't. I didn't think this one out. I haven't got a word for it. We just need. We're hopefully going to increase our staff in January. So bear with us with that. and we will, and then obviously things will be smoother again. So, but if you haven't had responses to something, they will come. They will come. Okay, and we've got our hand evaluation coming up here, and don't forget. I did mention this to the chagrin of those in the office. I mentioned that you should have, those members, remember, get a 5% discount on the holidays by using the voucher code. And if you haven't had that, don't forget you should have done as a member. And of course, we got lots of emails coming into the inbox unbeknownst to the staff. So they are working on those. And we got Megan in today and then Katrina as well. We're working on that. Okay, let's get started and let's look at the hand evaluation, which is where we tend to start things. And this is your hand, and you've got to decide how you feel about it. So what I wanted to know is whether you're opening the bidding, if East opened the bidding, what would you do? And in a sense, how you feel about the hand, particularly offensive, defensive. Offensive, defensive. Am I sounding American there? I think it must be the playoff times in the American football. Anyway, forgive me for that. But what do you think? Is it for attack or defense for the most part? Okay, let's come back here. And as I say, what we're talking about is defense against double contract. And of course, we will be looking at some beginner stuff at the end. So let's go to our PowerPoint here and have a look. So defending against doubled contracts. And it's the big seminar on the site, and it isn't an easy one. No defensive ones are, and those of you who are coming to the reboot starting on Thursday, 6 seminars in 3 days. Reboot events, if you've not done them before, are very much focused on the seminars and the set hands. So we will be working very, very hard, okay, on the defense. So generally when you're defending double contract, trumps are fundamental to the defense. Okay, really important. And a lot of the time we will be leading trumps. But there are going to be some times where we don't. And so let's try and define when we're going to lead trumps and when we're not. So when both opponents have trump length, if both opponents have supported a suit, when would we be doubling them? Okay, so when they both have trump length, when are we going to be doubling them? Well, we will only be doubling them probably at game and above, maybe at the 3 level, but game and above. Because remember, if you remember, we're going a long way back. This is the January before last, okay? The January before last, we did doubles. It was double annually, doubling. And what we said was we only double at low level suit contracts if we have length in their suit. Okay, because otherwise if they've just got a big fit, they will make it. So when both opponents have trump length, it's almost always because they're doing a sacrifice or they've just bid too high. Okay, so we double and we will often lead trumps to stop them roughing. Because of course, if they've got a 5-4 or a 6-3 fit, your job is to, if you can lead trumps enough, you might be able to take one hand out of the equation. Okay, really important that. The other element is when the defender with the long trumps is sitting over declarer. Okay, so when the defender with the long trumps is sitting over them, what do I mean by that? Well, declarer is, let's say, south, and the defender with the long trumps is west. So if East leads a trump, it goes through declarer. Does that make sense? Well, it's easier to see it with a hand. And again, we'll tend to play trumps. There will be other times we need to play trumps as well, but these are two quite important ones, okay, where a good declarer, when he gets double for penalties at a low level, will predict, rightly, that trumps will be breaking badly. So they may not choose to play trumps. So it might be our job to play them instead, okay? So those are the most common times when we lead trumps. When would we not lead trumps? Okay, well, this will come up in a variety of contracts. particularly at high levels in competitive auctions, you may need to take your top tricks, but there will be times at low levels that you need to take your top tricks, and it'll become obvious perhaps when you see dummy. So maybe you've got an ace king and a suit, you choose to lead an ace, and then you see dummy and you see strength in one side suit, you need to take your top tricks before they get discarded or something like that. The other element is when you might need to go for a ruff. Now what do I mean by that? Well, if you've got a shortage and the shorter trump holding, it would be great if you could get a ruff. Or if you've got shortage and you've got a trump holding which is perhaps less powerful. Maybe you decided to double with ace, queen, 4-3. If you've got the ace, queen, 4-3 of the suit, you're hoping your ace, queen is sitting over to Clara. Maybe you're going to make 2 tricks there, but the 4 and 3 aren't going to make tricks generally, unless you can make them by ruffing. So you might decide to lead shortage and aim for some ruffs to increase your tricks by that. Okay, so those are going to be the tending to be the times when you don't go for ruffs, where you're looking for an extra defensive trick from a ruff or a trump promotion. So over the next 2 weeks, we'll look at at a couple of hands each, and we'll try to see if we can identify which one we should be doing. So let's try this hand here. Okay, so here is the hand. Let's just do the auction first. 2 spades, pass, pass, and it's your bid as East. What do you fancy? I'll let you have a little think about that. Hopefully you're all thinking the same. And I'm hoping it's a nice and simple double. Okay. And you've probably guessed what's going to happen in the rest of the auction. Well, you can see dummy already. And it ends up going pass, pass, pass. Okay, so what are your first thoughts then? I've let you see dummy without the lead. What do you think you would be thinking? What is East? Okay, not sure what that is. Okay, so you've doubled for takeout. Remember, you've borrowed a king as well. Okay, you've doubled. Your partner's chosen to pass. So you trust your partner, and as you can see, because you can see dummy, partner has 4 spades. Remember, it's a weak 2 spade opener, so it's no surprise partner's sitting with 4, and your partner is sitting over to Clara. Okay, so East doubled for takeout, and West, the partner, has passed. Okay, so East has doubled for takeout. Okay, so you can see in the center of the table, NEW, NESW, we are the East hand. Okay, and West has chosen to pass, and the reason he's chosen to pass is he believes he's going to get the best score by passing 2 spades doubled, so therefore he should have good spades. Okay, he could be balanced with reasonable spades, or he could just have good spades. Imagine he's got King, Jack, 10-8, says Bernard, knowing the hand. Okay, he feels he's got the chance of making perhaps 3 spade tricks, but the crucial thing here is what is going to be part of your plan. Okay, and generally on a hand like this, when I get the lead, I'm going to be thinking of leading a spade here. Okay, I can only do it once, but that could be really valuable. Okay, because the natural way a good declarer will play this hand is they will trust your bidding. Okay, so remember, it's your partner lead. Your partner leads the Jack of Diamonds. I'll just show you that. Okay, and we'll look at the first trick. It goes Queen, King, small. Okay, so declarer tries a finesse at trick 1, and you win the king. Now, what are you thinking? Well, there's a number of things you might think here. For example, a heart switch looks reasonable, not perfect, but reasonable, partially because most of declarer's strength is going to be in spades. So you don't know how strong your partner's hand is, but if declarer could be ace, king, jack to 6, ace queen jack to 6. You're hoping that your partner is sitting with 2 tricks at least in spades, something like king 10 to 4, you know, ace 10 to 4, where he knows because he's sitting over the trumps. The only thing is, if he's got a more tenacey hold, so 10-acey hold, what I mean by that is something like king jack 10 to 4, which is what he's got on this hand. What can happen if you never play trumps is that declarer doesn't play trumps either. And in the end of the hand, your partner ends up having to give the very last 2 tricks. Because declarer never plays trumps, and if you never play trumps, I think your partner might get stuck on lead, having to give declarer the ace and queen. Okay? All right. So, do you need to play trumps or not? And the answer is yes, basically. Okay. So, I mean, I'll show you the full hand. I'm actually going to move to Q+, because I just want to be able to show you the way the hand is. So here's the hand on Q+, because I just want to show you it played through. So you can see the dummy there, and it goes jack, queen, king. Okay, and we would choose to play a spade. In fact, I'll tell you what, I'll open all the hands because it is easier. And here is the hand, okay. And as you can see, someone's mentioning a heart lead. I think the jack of diamonds is reasonable from jack 10. You know, you're going to switch to hearts probably at some point, but it's not unreasonable for an ace queen holding to try the jack of diamonds first. And at this point, I'm going to lead the 3 of spades back, okay. And that forces declarer. Now, declarer probably plays low. I mean, it depends who you're playing against, I guess. If you're playing against good opponents, East is sitting there with 2 small spades or a singleton spade. And most of the time, East is going to have a singleton spade. He's made a double for takeout, don't forget. You've got to remember that, really important. East's double is for takeout, unless it's alerted and they say it's penalty. It's a double for takeout. You could try the queen, I suppose, but I think maybe normal is to play small. Maybe try the 9. Let's try the 9. And to be honest, this hand is now going to play out in a normal fashion. Your partner's going to be able to rough something, and eventually declarer isn't going to be able to shorten his trumps, and you should take this a comfortable 2 off. Okay, I would imagine your partner will probably just carry on diamonds here. Okay, declarer, you know, might try and rough a diamond, shortening his trumps, but he won't play trumps. He's going to try and, you know, play a club, and we'd win the ace. And at this point, East is in a good position here, just to lead a heart here. Okay, a small heart promising an honour, and that solves the problems for West. West now feels comfortable. He can play his hearts off there. Okay, just like that. And the key is that we're going to make sure, declarer has got longer trumps than us, so we're going to make sure that we get our roughs. Okay, and there's nothing declarer can do to stop us. So for example, we did a diamond, it would get roughed and over roughed probably. Okay, a club comes back. But can you see declarer? It's just playing normally, but whatever he does, he has to lose the king of spades. So I've gone a little bit quickly there, but I hope you don't mind. But I guess, you know, if we hadn't have led a trump, it's very subtle, but you'd have an extra card left each, possibly. And try and imagine if there's an extra card left each. I would rough this. Can you see if we both had an extra trump left, what's going to happen? South would be able to lead a small trump. Can you see the idea? So imagine there's an extra trump in both South and West's hand left because East hasn't led one. Well, then now South can lead a trump. West would win it, but would have to lead away from his king at the very end of the hand. The contract still goes down, okay, but it goes 1 less down. Okay. I think declarer can do a little bit better than that, you know, but he's always going to go, I think, 3 off here. And you think, well, 2 off, isn't 2 off okay? 2 off is okay, but we're looking, if you take him 3 off, you beat the score for game, and that's always the worry here. When I allowed, let me just get back to the PowerPoint now. When I allowed Q Plus to play it, they actually responded 2 no trumps and might have finished in 3 no trumps. Now, I'm not sure 3 no trumps will necessarily make here, but it might do. It may well make. 3 no trumps scores 400. Taking 2 spades 3 off makes all the difference because it beats the score for game. And it's so important. Okay, it beats the score for game. I hope you're happy with the bidding. The bidding is completely normal. 2 spades is completely normal from south if you play weak 2s. Pass, pass, double for takeout. And that gets passed out because West believes that 2 spades doubled will be the best score for their side. Now, of course, West doesn't want to lead a spade because he's leading away from his King Jack 10. So it's up to East to lead the trump there. Okay, and unless you've been taught this, you won't do it. It's just not a natural thing to do. You know, I know it is for you. Some of you say, yes, it is. Yes, of course it is, because you've got used to it. Okay, but it's not particularly natural, particularly when you know that North can't do any roughing sensibly. So there's no real reason to draw North's trumps. What you're trying to do is just simply hurt declarer by leading through him. Okay. So as long as East plays a trump, I think South is likely to go 3 off. Without the trump play, I think it might be just 2 off. And you'll be happy. A lot of people will be happy with 2 spades 2 off. And actually, if there's no weak 2 or anything, you're never going to get to game, ironically, because there's not the points. The reason why game makes is because every single card is sitting very pleasantly for you, isn't it? The spades are sitting beautifully for declarer. The hearts are 3-3. The diamonds, again, are sitting well. So I think you shouldn't be in 3 no trumps, but it may well scrape home. Okay, and the reason why we're able to take 2 spades 3 off is because, again, things are sitting well. Okay, let's look at this one. You are sitting West. So apologies if any confusion. The green, remember, is the green base is the centre of the table. Okay, so you are sitting West. This time it's a 2 spade opening from you. No, it's not. 2 spade from South. What do you fancy? I hope it's a double for takeout. Nice and simple. Quite a nice one, actually. 14 points. Okay, 4-4-4-1. Lovely hand. Double. 4 spades from North. Double. Okay. What do you fancy after that? So it goes 2 spades double, 4 spades double. What do you think? What are you going to respond or not to that double? And again, this, I suppose it depends, but for me, it's pass. You know, I don't have anything more than I've said. If partner really wanted to play in a contract, they would probably either need to bid 4 no trumps, which would be sort of bid something, or bid a suit themselves. I've got exactly what I said on the tin, as it were. I've got a 4-4-4-1 hand, and as Brian's saying there, 11 tricks is a lot. I think we take the money here. So we pass 4 spades doubled out, and it's our lead. Okay. And the question is, what do you lead? And a number of people have said exactly what I would say, which is this: both opponents have spades. Well, usually they do. North might be bidding strangely, but usually they've both got spades. They don't have points. Your partner should at least, at minimum, have 10 or 11 points for this double. So for his response, so let's say 10, we've got 14. So where are their points coming from? Sorry, where are their tricks coming from? And for me, their tricks must be coming from trumps. And if they think their tricks are coming from trumps, I am going to lead a trump. Okay, now, don't forget, you get taught a lot of things in bridge. And in fact, I'm going to be talking about that for the beginners, where 1 no trump as an opening bids. 1 no trump as an opening bid is different to a 1 no trump response. And that's really difficult for beginners. Now, when you get taught about trump leads, you will often be taught, do not lead a singleton trump. that is when you're playing in part scores, because your partner might have 4 trumps and you're worried about it. Here, it's very different. Here, you're not expecting your partner to have much in trumps. If he does have anything, you have already told your opponents how the spades are dividing. Your double was showing shortage, so if your partner does have any length at all, well, surely he is going to, declarer should be able to play him forward. So if partner had queen to 3 or jack to 4 or something like that, declarer knows that. Okay, so for me, I am going to lead a trump, and I'm hoping that we can keep leading trumps. Remember our ambitions here. Most of the time, we are expecting to make a game on this hand. So we are not trying to get 4 spades 1 off, or even 2 off. We would love to get it 3 off. Rather like the previous hand. You've got to be greedy. This is what January is all about. Okay, double annuary. So I'm going to lead a trumps. So let's look at dummy and see what you think of it. So you lead a trump. Do you like dummy's bid? Is the first question. Do you like dummy's bid? I think it's reasonable. And what you've got to ask yourself is, what's dummy hoping for? Well, dummy is thinking that we can make a game contract, and I think dummy is absolutely correct. Okay? So, what North is thinking is we need to make 8 tricks. So this is tricky, this element, but it's quite important, really. You've got to know how many tricks you have to make. So, if North makes 8 tricks, or South, apologies, makes 8 tricks, 4 spades doubled would be 2 off, and that would cost 300 points. But that is fine. Okay. If North-South only makes 7 tricks, that's too much. That would be 3 off. Okay. Now, someone asking whether East double was for penalties. For me, East double is action, as it were. It's a difficult double, but it's showing that partner, it's our hand. It's our hand. I'm not sure what to do. If East is absolutely sure he wants to bid something, I think he's got to either bid it or bid 4 no trumps to say, partner, we need to play in some kind of contract. Okay, again, not easy. But double is saying, look, partner, this is our hand. I don't know whether we should be in 4 spades doubled, or if you've got more distribution, maybe a contract. But okay. Now, looking at dummy, I'm worried, because it looks like North-South probably have 6 spade tricks in the ace of diamonds. So that's 7 tricks. However, ace queen to 6 might be all that South has. And if that's all he's got, they only have 7 tricks. As long as we can stop North making a ruff. If declarer is able to ruff in the North trump hand, he gains a trick. But our lead, I hope, will stop that. Can you see the idea? Okay, I think that North is sitting there. Sorry, South is sitting there thinking, okay, I've got 7 top tricks, I've got 6 spades and the ace of diamonds, all I need is a ruff. And if we had led anything else, he'd be on his way. So let's say we'd led the queen of clubs, for example, which is a perfectly normal lead. But at that point, it's probably too late. If declarer's got a 3rd club, he can ruff it in dummy. That suddenly looks like 8 tricks to me. Does that make sense? This is tough going. Let's go to Q plus and have a look again. Okay, so I'm going to have to bid this one, so let's just do it. So it went to 2 spades. Let's just quickly do it. I'm controlling them all, so it can't go wrong. Now, what do you think of... Oh, I can. I thought I was in control of them all, but I've lost control. There you go. Okay. So, interestingly, they only bid 3 spades. What would you bid with that hand? Okay, I'm just going to restart it. What would you bid with the North hand? It's an interesting one, isn't it? Okay. Because we're going to see 4 spades is going to go 3 off. But I think against a lot of defenders, 4 spades might work here. Okay, so it went for 2 spades double, 4 spades. East's got a tough decision there, and that's why I love 4 spades over 3 spades. East has an easy decision. 4 hearts, partner. That's what I want to play in. Over 4 spades, it's really tough, and as you're going to see on this hand, 5 hearts would go off. So East sort of wants to bid something. He knows it's our hand. He chose to double. Okay. And the normal bid, I think, is 3 spades on but what you've got to decide, and this is so fundamental to bidding, okay, what you have to decide with the north hand is, what are you going to bid over 4 hearts? And if the answer is you want to bid 4 spades over 4 hearts, well then bid 4 spades straight away. Q Plus, for example, did for me a crime. He bid 3 spades, then he bid 4 spades, which is just a crime. You've given East the chance to bid 4 hearts, you know, as in show his hand, and if 5 hearts is right, they might be able to judge. And then you bid 4 spades, which they know you don't expect to make. Whereas 4 spades straight away puts the pressure on. And some East will bid 5 hearts here. And if East does bid 5 hearts, as you can see, looking at the full hand here, South can lead the singleton diamond, and 5 hearts will go 1 off, which of course is a disaster when it's your hand. Okay, so instead, it gets passed out, 4 spades doubled, okay. And it's tough, but if you lead anything other than a trump, I think declarer can make 8 tricks here, okay? Because I think he can ruff a heart or a club in dummy, whichever he chooses. So if you lead the queen of clubs, I'll just quickly show you that. You know, you see dummy now, you switch to a trump, okay? Okay. Let's say, but he needs another trump. The club, sorry. And now you can carry on trying to lead trumps. Okay, but of course declarer can win that. Remember, his ambition is only to make that 1 extra trick. So he roughs that club, and now he can just cross back to hand with the ace of diamonds there. It might seem a bit depressing, okay? But once you've roughed that diamond, okay, you now draw trumps. You've made 8 tricks. That's all you've made. You've only made 8 tricks, okay? But as declarer, I would be very happy indeed, okay? Very happy indeed. 300 is a good score, okay, for north-south. However, sorry, you didn't see that. Let's just repeat it. When I lead a trump, what can declarer do? He wins, maybe? He now knows, assuming that the defence are on track, if he leads a club or a heart, we are going to be able to, you know, so on a heart lead, either we can win, sorry, East will probably win, play a trump. Another heart, we can win, play a club, another trump. And declarer cannot make a rough in dummy. And in fact, the only chance declarer has here is a 3-3 diamond break. So the correct play on a trump lead is for declarer to hope. And bear in mind that if he does get a 3-3 trump break, he will actually make the contract. Sorry, not a 3-3 trump, a 3-3 diamond break, apologies. So here on a trump lead, he will actually pursue diamonds. And, you know, and on a good day, it will work, but he'd play a diamond and try and rough a diamond good. In the end, it won't work. He can't do it. But as I say, if he tries a club, let's try a club. Leaps up with the king and plays another trump. Okay. And now if he plays another club, we would leap up with the ace again. And that is the end of that. And he finishes with just the 7 tricks he started with. Can you see that? Okay, he has to lose the other 4 tricks he's got in his hand. So he makes the ace of diamonds, but he has that club loser and 3 diamond loser, 3 heart losers. So he ends up going 3 off. I think it's reasonable bidding. I think it's perfectly reasonable bidding, but it's just brilliant defense. Okay, and once again, 4 hearts is the normal contract. Okay. You know, so if it goes 2 spades double, 3 spades, 4 hearts, pass, pass, pass. And don't get me wrong, so a number of you said I'd only bid 3 spades. I do not mind you only bidding 3 spades as long as you choose to pass 4 hearts out. But if you're going to overbid 4 hearts with 4 spades, then bid 4 spades straight away. Okay, on this kind of auction, East could have strong spaces double here. All East is saying on this hand, remember, is look, these annoying opponents are getting in our way. You've shown me an opening hand with your double. I've got an opening hand. We need to be bidding something. Now, if East was 5-5 or something like that, he would know he wanted to be bidding his own contract. But with a balanced hand, and this is exactly what we're talking about with the hand evaluation, with the balanced hand, he's thinking, to be honest, you know, I think we should be playing in 4 spades doubled. So these are not easy hands. There's the full hand on the PowerPoint there. South has 7 tricks off the top, as I say. So that's easy. And notice that if they were non-vulnerable against vulnerable, that is enough to make a good sacrifice. So if East-West had been vulnerable and North-South non-vulnerable, all North-South would have needed is the 7 tricks they started with. They'd have already been happy. Okay. Once you get a trump lead, you're held to those 7 tricks. So that's 500 and a top for East-West. On a non-trump lead, declarer, as long as declarer aims for 2 off, now some declarers might be greedy and aim for the diamonds to break, because remember, if diamonds break 3-3, declarer can actually make 4 spades on a trump lead. So it's one of those strange ones where, you know, if there was different distribution, but clearly here, holding 3 very nice suits, West is pretty confident that there's nothing happening. You know, they're not establishing any tricks anywhere. So a trump lead. When both opponents have trumps and they're trying to steal your contract, as they are here, a trump lead will often be very powerful indeed. Okay. Okay, so that is that. What I would like is for you to send in your example hands. That would really be handy for me, because that is where we really learn, by seeing it in action. I mean, I'm hoping you learn from the hands I also show you as well, but not all of you trust me. You know, so, you know, you could have someone saying a week 2 opening, week 3 opening, it's the same, 3 spades double, 4 spades. Quite often the double there, you know, we're going to end up penalising 4 spades, but you know, it's trump leads are generally going to work okay. Remember, they're going to know how things divide. Your double is so often going to be from a singleton, so 3 spades double, 4 spades double, they're going to sort of place you with a singleton. So if they need to take a trump finesse, they're likely to take it. So don't feel that leading a singleton trump is going to be too damaging. Although your partner will tell you differently if it doesn't work out. So send in your hands, please. They make such a great difference for me to be able to produce stuff. I've had a few sent in, basically doubles that work, doubles that don't work, and whether you're getting them far enough off. On a trump lead, if diamonds broke 3-3, declarer could have made them. He can't if they break 4-2. Okay, so if the diamonds had broken 3-3, which is his last choice on a trump lead, then he could manage to defeat it. Of course, if trumps break 2-2, declarer's going to always make a rough in dummy anyway, so bear that in mind. That's why I'm saying 4 spades is perfectly reasonable from the opponents, because they may well just go 2 off, and against most defence they'll only go 2 off anyway, so aggressive bidding can work. Okay, let's go back to the hand evaluation hand. Here's your hand. I don't like 4-3-3-3 hands, but there are 2 10s there. So for me, this is still an 11 count. I would be fully evaluating for the 2 10s, so I would downgrade it for 4-3-3-3 and upgrade it for the 2 10s, so it would still be a reasonable 11 count, although the spades is pretty awful, so I call it a mediocre 11 count. But as a number of you did point out, it's all about defence. So let's see how the auction goes. Okay, we're going to pass. Okay, I'm going to need to take control again here. Hold on. Oh dear. It's not what I expected. I thought I'd tested this. Visible, invisible, invisible, invisible. No. There we go. Okay, so let's start again, because it might happen like that. So it goes a diamond from East, we pass. That's important. Okay. And we wouldn't open. Yep, someone's saying that. 1 spade from West. Double from your partner. Okay. So let's look at the auction here. So it's got a diamond pass, a spade, double. Now I'm starting to get quite excited about my hand, but again, not about playing it. In fact, I'm hoping that I don't have to make a bid here. If it goes pass, I'm just going to bid a no trump. I hope you're happy with that. Okay, I don't need to get any more excited than that, I don't think. You know, but here, it goes 2 clubs from east, which I think is a misbid. I don't think East should be bidding that. I think it's really important when you have this kind of auction. When you've got this kind of auction, okay, I think North is guaranteeing at least 4 clubs and 4 hearts. I think that's really important here. He should be guaranteeing 4 hearts and 4 clubs, in which case, why is East bidding 2 clubs here? Okay, even if he's got 4 of them, why is he doing it? I know he's trying to show his shape. So what would you fancy over that? What would you fancy over the 2 club bid? And for me, it's a double. It's a double for penalties. There's no takeout doubles in this auction. There's only 1 suit left. So if I've got hearts, I can bid them. And I know my partner's got clubs. So, you know, and the point is it gets our strength. Now, we don't expect them to finish in clubs. Bear that in mind. You know you've got 7 of them. So west is likely to bid 2 diamonds. But I have to be honest, I'm reasonably keen on doubling 2 diamonds as well. So I'm starting the conversation with my partner to say, look, partner, this is actually our hand. You're not going to believe it. They've both bid. And indeed, it does go 2 diamonds, pass. And do you know, although I'm short, not as long as I'd like to be in diamonds, I would feel here that the opponents are going to struggle in this contract. Now, you probably guessed what West has got. West, because you've already seen Q Plus decided to pass with the West hand. It'll be interesting to see if you would have passed with it as well. Okay, because I think it probably is not unreasonable to pass with it. Okay. And because sometimes if you bid, let me open up the hand so you can see. Okay, so as I say, I think it's reasonable to pass with the West hand as an opening opposite the opening bidder. And what happens is if you choose, sorry, I was going to double that. Apologies. Oh, I am doubling the last bid. Apologies. Let's go through it. I have to go through it again because otherwise it looks so. So it goes a diamond, pass. Now, I'm happy if you choose a pass with West. And actually, it gives you the best result. It goes double and we end up winning the auction. But if you do bid a spade, you know, it goes a bit wrong. Double from North. It should be up to scratch, that double. We've been talking about that on Friday. It really should be. We're doing redoubling and talking about those fatuous doubles there. It should be a good double, and it is. It then goes 2 clubs, I think probably he should just pass there. Maybe 2 clubs should be 5-5. The thing is, he wants a club lead, so I've got some sympathy with it. Because he'd prefer a club lead if we finish in hearts. If that makes sense, he wants his partner to lead clubs rather than diamonds. So I've got some sympathy, but of course we're able to start our attack. Double for penalties, 2 diamonds, and then pass, and we do double again. Okay, and that will finish the auction. Okay, and there's not a huge amount to it really. Declare is going off obviously because partner's only got one trick for him. Probably can make 2 tricks. I think probably they may well end up getting a club rough. We'd be doing well to not get that, to stop them. I suppose you might lead a heart. If you lead a heart, you would stop the diamond rough. Yeah, heart lead's not the worst lead. I can see that. Heart to the ace and then the jack of diamonds switch. And Declarer makes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tricks. That's a pretty, I mean, Declarer's going to make 5 or 6 tricks. As I say, if you do lead a heart, I'll just show you that. So if you lead a heart, that would go to the ace. Obviously, you've promised an honour. Remember, partner's shown hearts and clubs, don't forget that. So a heart lead is relatively normal, and I think it's a classic switch to diamonds, isn't it? Okay, here, I think your partner can switch to the jack of diamonds, and that's the end of the hand. Can you see that? Okay, nothing the declarer can do. What does he do? He ducks, and then another diamond, and we make the queen, and of course we take the ace of diamonds, and that stops them getting their ruffs. Okay, and poor declarer is left bereft, really. All he can do is take his ace king of clubs and the ace of spades when North gets the lead again, which eventually he will. He'll be able to lead the jack of hearts. Okay, he'll get the lead eventually with the third. Okay. Sorry, Alice. The auction had gone 1 diamond past 1 spade. 1 diamond past 1 spade. So when you make a takeout double and the opponents have bid 2 suits, you must have at least 4 in the other 2 suits. Okay, so yeah, really horrible for declarer there, and it's relatively normal bidding. A lot of people, but they just won't get penalised. So that would be worth 500. It's worth more than game. Okay, again, accurate defence. Okay, just to remind you of the auction, it went 1 diamond past 1 spade, so double for takeout. There's only 2 suits left, and if you're doing a takeout double, clearly if there's only 2 suits, you must have support for both. Otherwise, it's silly. Okay, if you've only got 1 suit, bid it yourself, as it were. So that double for takeout from North promises 4 in both, and that's why we can start our conversation with the double over 2 clubs there, which says, partner, look, this is our hand. Actually, turns out it's our hand. Let's have some fun. Okay. And it allowed us to penalise 2 diamonds there. On the hand, I think you probably, are you going to make 3 no trumps? You probably will make 3 no trumps, so taking it 3 off is important. Okay, again, bidding 3 no trumps is another matter. You've got 24, so maybe you will manage it here, but you've got to take that 2 diamonds 3 off to get the maximum here. Okay, I have waffled on, haven't I? I apologise for that. It's a long one. I've got the beginners to come, so I might send you all to sleep. Yes, so I need to cut these down, keep them a bit shorter and sharper. I will do that. My New Year's resolution. How's that? So we've got the bidding quiz before I go. So thanks for your time. Happy New Year. Here's your bidding quiz. A club on your left, a diamond from your partner, pass, and it's your bid. So a club on your left, diamond overcall from your partner and pass, and it's your bid. Okay, so have a think about that. Don't forget, we are doing lots of redoubling and doubling, so do enjoy those. I really do want you to double more. Get it wrong. If you're not getting it wrong this month, you'll never get it wrong, and therefore you'll never be able to get it right. To double more in a good way, you need to get doubles wrong. I cannot emphasize that enough. Okay, our prize winner, Sheila Lorimer. So well done to Sheila. I'll be in touch. And I should just mention there, I don't know how to do that. There you go. Mallorca and I don't know where it is, so I've lost it. I'll come back to you. Mallorca and Croatia. So do look out for those on the holiday site, BMB Holidays. Remember, you don't have to be a member to be on our holidays, and on UK events run by BMB. Of course, the members get their nice discounts, so I hope you take advantage of that. We will be having more and more events coming later in the year once things, well, I'm not even going to say once things get back to normal. You know what I mean anyway. All right, so thanks very much. I'm going to go to some beginners stuff to finish a little short section on balanced or unbalanced hands. So if you remember back to last year, when it was 20 to 21 as it were, we were talking about starting to bid, and we did a couple of suit bids. And what we decided was our job is to decide whether we should play in a suit contract or whether we play in a no trump contract. And we made these decisions playing mini bridge. So if you haven't played mini bridge before, if you, as a beginner, if you work your way from the very start of this begin bridge software, you start by playing begin bridge, and I ask you to choose what level of contract you should be in, whether you should be in trump contract or no trump contract. That's by looking at both hands when you play mini bridge. When you play real bridge, okay, unfortunately, you can only see one hand, your own. So you need to talk to each other, and that's what we're going to try and do. So look at 2 balanced hands here. So these are 2 hands with not a lot of distributions. So there's no singletons here. Don't think you're going to make many ruffs here. So I think probably these two hands would want to play in a no trump contract. Okay, I think they'd want to play in no trumps. I hope you're happy with that. Okay, you haven't got 8 cards in any suit either. Okay, you've got 6 spades there, 6 hearts, 7 diamonds and 7 clubs. Okay, I've got these two hands playing together. If I change it to this, I'm exaggerating it slightly, but this one's slightly unbalanced, or in a large way unbalanced. There are the east hand, the hand on your right, has a void in diamonds, and the hand on your left has a void in clubs. If these two hands played in no trumps, they would have a disaster, because the opponents could just play their diamonds and play their clubs. Instead, if you choose spades or even hearts, but let's say spades as trumps, well, if the opponents lead diamonds, you can ruff them in the east hand. If they lead clubs, you can ruff them in the west hand. I think you can actually make 13 tricks. So as long as you choose a trump contract, you're going to have a great deal of fun, because you have two very unbalanced hands where you don't have an equal spread of cards between the suits. Okay. So let's define what I mean by balanced. A balanced hand is when you have no singleton. Now, a singleton, of course, is a suit with 1 card in, and there's no void, and that's a suit with no cards in. Okay, so you have no singleton or void, and you have not more than 1 doubleton. If you have 2 doubletons, you'll find you've got a lot of cards in the other 2 suits. So no singleton or void, or not more than 1 doubleton. I'm going to just to try things, I'm going to try and define that in another way. Another way of looking at it is all of your suits should have at least 2 cards. All of them should have at least 2 cards, so 2 or more cards, and you should not have more than 1 suit with just 2 cards. So that's 2 ways of saying the same thing. So in a balanced hand, all of your suits will have 2 or more cards, and only one of them will have exactly 2. Or, in fact, none of them. You can, believe it or not, you can have a balanced hand with no 2-card suit. And that is the 4-3-3-3 hand that comes up quite a lot. Okay, so those are your 2 definitions of balanced. So, every single bidding language, and all different countries tend to play different languages. They don't have to. We can all play the same, unfortunately. We all grew up in different places, and you get taught in different ways, rather like you're taught maths in different ways, in different schools, in different countries. You're taught languages. Bidding is the same, and so the language I'm going to teach you is a language that I prefer, and it's a language that is played and used predominantly in the United Kingdom and its dependents, not its dependencies, the Commonwealth, as it were, of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, as it were, because because it happened to spread there naturally, as it were. And what we play is something called ACOL. Don't have to know what that means. It's named after a road in London, actually. ACOL Road. So it doesn't stand for anything. It's quite important, because a lot of people wonder what ACOL stands for. It's actually, should be, I've got it with capital letters there, it should be A, small c, small o, small l, because that's what it is, but we often capitalise it. And we use a weak no trump. And what that means is, you know what a 1 heart opening bid or 1 spade bid means? All of the suit bids simply say, look, partner, I've got a few points, more than average, and I've got length in that suit. 1 no trump says, partner, to be honest, I've got a balanced hand. Do you know, I think we might be best playing in a no trump contract. And it's going to show a specific number of points. And it all depends on the language you choose. In the same way as if you're speaking French, you're not going to use the same words as you use in English. So here, in the language I want us to learn, 1 no trump as an opening bid is going to show 12 to 14 points. It's going to show 12 to 14 points. And your partner speaks the same, or hopefully speaks the same language as you, so knows that. Does that make sense? Okay, so by showing you points, what we decided was that generally we needed about 25 points to go for game. And remember, that's our ambition, is to find the denomination and the level we want to get to. So to work out the level without seeing both hands, remember when you played mini bridge, you were able to add up the points between the two hands. And of course you announced your points. That made things easier. We're not allowed to do that when we use bidding. So what we have to do is try to get across to our partner how many points we've got. So imagine your partner. You're sitting with this hand. I hope you're happy. It's a balanced hand. Imagine your partner opened one no trump. So your partner opens one no trump. And what I really want you to imagine is you're playing mini bridge. Imagine you're playing mini bridge and your partner announced a number between 12 and 14. Well, 12 and 14 inclusive, I should say. So if your partner announced 12, 13 or 14, you'd be thinking, oh wow, okay, well I've got 13 myself, so let me add those two numbers together. Okay, 13 points in our hand, adding 12 to 14, that means we've got between 25 and 27. So that is enough for game, isn't it? Okay, so that's enough for game. Well, he's also told me he's got a balanced hand. I've got a balanced hand. So we've both got balanced hands, and I think I've been told that if we've got balanced hands, we should play in no trumps. And we've got enough for game. So what do you think you bid? You bid to make game in no trumps. Now, of course, playing mini bridge, you'd have said, I want to go for game, but you've got to remember what you have to bid for that. To bid for game, you have to make sure you bid for 100 points in one go. And if you can remember, and there's a lot to remember, usually it's best to have a crib sheet with you in a way. 3 no trumps is the bid. We're both balanced, let's go for it. 3 no trumps works out exactly as 100 points. And so you would get a game bonus for making it, and that's what we love. Okay, I'll show you your partner's hand there. Okay, there it is. He turns out to have 14 points on this occasion, but it's between 12 and 14. He only has 1 doubleton. We don't even have one. So 2 balanced hands, and I'm hoping I've made it easy for you there. But I've given you the ace, king, queen, jack of hearts and the ace, king, queen, jack of clubs. And I think you'll make 4 hearts and 4 club tricks. So that's 8. And of course you've got the ace of spades as well. You might lose a few diamonds on the way, but I think you should manage to make 9 tricks. So a simple lesson which is difficult. I know that's a funny thing to say, but clearly if you've been doing bridge a little while, you'll be thinking that's very, very, very straightforward. What we're trying to do, I'm hoping that any beginners out there have had a go on the Begin Bridge software. Okay, it's on the site. Okay, you can use it for 7 days. You can do it for free anyway. If you haven't, and if you've done that already, do join us. It's only $4.99 a month for a beginner, and you can use that software throughout. And you can practice, and you will start by doing mini bridge. What I'm trying to do now is take us from mini bridge to real bridge, where you can't see your partner's hands. You have to bid. And that's the trip we're trying to make. Anyway, well, thanks very much for your time. Good luck to anybody who's learning bridge. I hope there's a few people out there who are making a New Year's resolution of finally going for it. And we would love to have you on board. And please do email us and talk to us. We want to know you out there. Thanks so much, and see you again soon.